the competition reflects two poles that are both very interesting poles, very interesting investigations in their own right. One of them is an investigation that has to do with consummate professionalism, the resolution of space and form in rational ways, in ways that derive from a client's program, and then land in highly developed, easily legible form. The other strain in the competition, and this is probably the minor key of the competition, is the poetic strain, that impulse that we all have within us to dream, to fantasize, and then as architects, our poets, our writers, our painters, our dancers, to manifest those dreams in our work. And for me, this is a lifelong search. I never view architecture as a business. There can be, around the edges, wonderful business opportunities, a great lifestyle connected to your work. But for me, the bottom line has always been the integrity of the work, staying true to an inner vision, and prioritizing the poetics and the art of architecture over the business, the pragmatics of architecture. Now that doesn't mean you don't want to do buildings that stand up and are beautiful at the same time and have structural integrity. Of course you do. But what touched me about a few of the submissions were the way that a person's inner process was revealed in the work. In great buildings, usually there's a legibility that you can read, you can get from the building, that is a tracking of a person's process, of the author's process in the making of this work. And the process sketch drawn by hand is probably the most clear evidence of that kind of intention. There have been, in the competition, on both sides of on the fence, we've seen excellent drawings that are digital drawings, showing a mastery of even Form Z techniques, Photoshop techniques, far beyond what I would have imagined would be capable of or offered to high school students. So that was very refreshing to see that, and amazing. Much of the work was at the level of entry-level professional design programs, architecture programs at universities. Really had that kind of professionalism and refinement. But on the other hand, the personal drawing, and maybe I'm biased because I draw with a brush pen and pastels, and my models are made of clay, and I cut them and shape them by hand. But I was so impressed by just some beautiful, maybe naive, personal drawings that, for me, suggested a passion, an embedment in the process that was very different from using AutoCAD, using traditional digital media. I remember when I was in high school, I wouldn't have had a clue about architecture or space at the level that many of these entries have. And I think that's a measure of the American Institute of Architects here getting the message out that architecture is important in our lives. And also for school systems, whether public or private, delivering on areas of curricular areas that don't exist in most of the country. It's rare to find in public schools an art program anymore. So the science of architecture, the art of architecture, coming together in a kind of wonderful collision, a fusion, is very evident in this competition. And I'm honored to have been part of this, because when you see something, when you see a very fresh process, it kicks me into an introspective mode where I think, well, gee, is my process still fresh? Is it as alive as I want it to be? So having done this, my process is affirmed. It's gotten a bit of it's gotten a boost. My process has gotten a boost from unexpected directions, And it's been a very rewarding learning experience for me, apart from the collegial contact I've had with other jury members who were fantastic. And I want to honor my colleagues in the process and say what fun it was just to have this encounter here in Atlanta.